If I'm a Kentucky fan, I'm rejoicing because Cal had his good days, but it has run its course. It was overdue by several years. And right now, I don't know what John Calipari is doing in Arkansas. I'm not a buyer of Arkansas. I'm a buyer of Kentucky. And if I'm a Kentucky fan, that's what I'm going up against this year.
That's what I was actually going to bring up and ask you guys, because I've never seen such a remarkable, like, Calipari, the man at Kentucky, speaking wisdom, a little bitter at Kentucky, and goes to Arkansas and he's like holding court with got to be 5 or 10 media folk. And like, it's almost like a sideshow. Mm-hmm. That's how it comes off. That's how it comes off to me. It's like, you're no longer the main show. And I don't think he's okay with it.
Like he's like battling for attention. Did you see him the other day?
Yeah, it's so strange. Like, it's a really weird deal, man.
Like asking fans to come to the games, use their tickets. If you're not going to use your ticket, give it to your neighbor or whatever. And I think that we know what Arkansas is as a fan base, how passionate they are, how crazy their fans are, and how loud Bald Walton Arena can get when it gets packed, right? Like everybody knows that. It's not a secret. That's one of the craziest buildings that you're going to get and one of the best environments that you're going to get in college basketball. But I also think at the end of the day, it's also a more traditional SEC school where even though it's November, even though basketball started, and even though their football team is not really all that great, it's still like football season. Yes. So if you have a game on a Saturday afternoon, even if your football team sucks, like a lot of those guys are probably still saying, yeah, well, do I want to go watch Arkansas beat up on some mid-major that they actually struggle with? Or am I going to sit at home and watch like Georgia, Tennessee? You know, and I think a lot of those fans are like, oh, yeah, I'll just sit at home and watch Georgia, Tennessee. That seems like a more entertaining way to spend 3 hours of my life.
Especially when they're playing like Pacific and, you know, Troy was actually hanging around with them till the very end. But like,
yeah, Troy hung around with them. Pacific hung around with them. Lipscomb hung around with them. And they got beat by Baylor in a game where Cal kind of admitted after the game, he was like, yeah, we didn't practice against the zone before playing Baylor. What are we doing? What is that? I don't know, man. Like I was very in. I've said this a lot, and Kentucky fans.
Welcome to everybody else's problems. Welcome to everybody.
Thing like I'm done going down the same pathway with Cal. I think I know he's a Hall of Famer. I know he's a hell of a coach, but you've got to prove that you're different. How is this Arkansas team different than any of the past ones in the recent years at Kentucky? They're really not. And you know, here's the thing: you're in the best conference in college basketball this season, bar none.
Yes.
Because Alabama's damn good. Auburn's even better than Alabama now. Tennessee's a top 10 team. Kentucky might be a top 10 team. Florida looks like a top 15 team. Texas A&M could be a top 20 team. And Arkansas looks like they might be 7th or 8th in this league.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really damn good league. By the way, I'm going to vow this right now. I was looking at the schedule last night. I think our podcast has to do 1, if not 2 trips to an SEC game this year for the first time. The three of us have never been in a building for an SEC game. It's time. This is the year. This is the year. We got to make it happen.
Do we want to go to Cal's return to Kentucky?
I think it'd be amazing. I mean,
our show would be good. I would honestly, I think I would rather go. I'm pretty sure Auburn, Alabama play twice, right? And they host Auburn. Oh,
need to go to Thompson Bowling.
Auburn hosts Alabama on the last Saturday of the regular season.
Oh my goodness gracious!
That could be for the SEC. That could be for the SEC regular season title.